Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sonic Love. So in today's video, I'm going to be checking out Powkiddy's latest and greatest handheld, the RGB30. This one has been going around for a little while now, and it seems to be a fan favorite in the community because of its unique aspect ratio of the screen, and not only that, but just its mind-blowing screen with a 720p 1:1 aspect ratio, and it just brings back so much nostalgia for many of the old retro game systems, which, as you know, I like. Some people don't like it because of the weak chipset, so let's do a quick unboxing and see what it's all about, whether it's a fit for you or no fit at all. So Powkiddy aren't renowned to have really nice boxes, but it does the job, and it comes and it makes sure that it is nice and secure. So taking out the box, we have our usual little plastic bag. It comes with a nice foam protector. Now I have had this in my possession for a week. I was going to do a unboxing and first impression straight away, but once I started using it, I just couldn't stop playing it, to be honest. And then I wanted to do loads of tinkering with it, add more systems and so forth. But as you can see, the screen is absolutely delicious. The 720p and the options in the settings is really nice because you can up the saturation, and it just overall just looks incredibly sharp. Really is one of the highlights of this device. So we have our usual Switch analog sticks. They're alright, they work, but I wouldn't say that they set the house on fire. The ABXY are your standard from Powkiddy. They work well. The D-pad is okay. The travel is not too bad. It does feel a little bit stiffer than usual. Not too sure why that is. We have our usual start and select at the top, two front firing speakers, which the sound is actually pretty decent for this unit. On the bottom, we have our usual OTG. We have our second SD card slot for the games. We have our 3.5mm headphone jack, the firmware or operating system on the first SD card, and a USB for charging. Around the top, we do have volume, plus and minus. We have a HDMI out. We have a reset button, power, and we also have a non-stacked shoulder buttons, but they work. I did have to take my unit apart, sadly, because the R2 and R1 were stuck, but now I've solved that problem, so that's good. They're quite clicky, but not too loud, so that's quite nice. So if you're playing it in bed, it's not too bad, actually. I went with the blue version. There is a white, there's also a black version, and I believe that the yellow version is out now and the red is shortly to follow. So I will get hold of those systems just to show you what they're like, but they look absolutely lovely. But as you can see, the screen is definitely the star of the show. So let's test out some games, and yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on handling, what the D-pad's like, buttons in different scenarios and different emulators. So because of how unique the screen is, so it really does make a massive difference for the older retro game systems, like, for example, Neo Geo Pocket, absolutely amazing. Atari Lynx. Pico 8, I'll do a separate video on that because I think it warrants it. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Nintendo DS is also fantastic on here. So your normal 4:3 aspect ratio, you can do what I do with 16:9, where you go with 10:9 aspect ratio. So it just stretches it out a little bit horizontally, just so you don't have so much big borders. You can do the same with here by using 8.7. So what I've done is take off all the bezels and all the shenanigans and loveliness that you get with this, which is pretty good. So if you hit start, go to game settings, go up and push all the way up to pre-system configuration, advanced configuration. If you go on to say like arcade, you'll see that I have put the emulator as default, 8.7, everything is off, performance and best performance. And then when I go into a game, choose a nice game by random, let's do Afterburner 2. Turn the volume up. So the operating system that it is using is GelOS, which is really stable. You can go into the settings, hook it up to Wi-Fi, and then you can update the version over OTG, which is really nice to do because it just makes it even better than what it was before. So I think the update was the last month, I think, so only a couple of weeks ago really, I think. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to jump into some gameplay just to show you what the systems are like. We'll start off with the light stuff and then work our way up. So let's go with some Virtual Boy. So I hope it's coming across just how sharp the actual text is. And it has a really nice dark screen, which is really nice. So the blacks look quite black actually. And with up in the saturation, it really does make the colours more vibrant and saturated, which stands out and makes it look really good. Again, using the 8:7 aspect ratio. Using as much as that screen real estate as possible. I know I'll probably repeat myself an awful lot throughout this, but the 720p screen just looks absolutely stunning. So stunning. I hate playing through a camera. But yeah, controls feel really nice. The D-pad is okay. Nothing spectacular, but it's got a nice travel to it. It's quite responsive. I'll show in more Street Fighter games later on just how well it works, or some type of fighting game anyway. But yeah, as you can see, it looks really nice. Start and select twice, we'll exit out into the menu. Let's go with some Game Boy Color. So it really does breathe some new life into playing the old retro games, just because of the aspect ratio and just the clarity of the image itself. Everything just really stands out and it's so smooth. I really can't stress enough just how beautiful this screen actually is. But again, you're not going to have any issues with all the old systems, and it really does. Like, I've been playing, I chose one system a day just to check out. So I did Game Boy, played Game Boy all day, likewise with every other system, and it's just been amazing. I don't think I've ever played a handheld so much since getting this. go with some Atari Lynx, Blue Lightning. Here we have Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. And it just looks unreal. There is enough power to put on your shaders and make it look authentic. I just like to have the graphics themselves, no shaders. Again, I've changed the aspect ratio to 8:7. You don't have to, but that's just my personal choice. I still think, as you can see by the text, it still looks really good. It doesn't look overstretched, and you utilize as much of the screen as possible. And it still looks very, very good. As you can see by the text themselves. Again, making the experience really pleasurable. You know, I had to get Rastan in there, my favourite Sega Master System game. Sorry about the banding, that's just the camera itself, not present on screen. Controls again, really nice. Another system that is epic to play on, guys, on the RGB30 is Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap. Let's move on to some Sega Mega Drive. Unlimited shurikens. What a game. Go with some Super Nintendo, Super Mario World. And it really does look incredible and really sharp. Again, no issues with the controls. Beautiful. Again, no issues, and it looks really sharp. The 720p display really makes the games stand out better than they've ever looked on a small handheld device. With some tinkering with Dreamcast, you can get them running pretty well. Wouldn't say perfect, but you can get them running pretty well. But again, it looks really good on here. Very sharp. I will do a showcase of each emulator on here, guys, just so you know. So if there's any games you specifically wish to see running on here, on this screen, and this device, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely add them. And that's any system you wish. You can see, no problem getting any moves out at all. Very enjoyable. And again, looks incredible. Love this game. I'm just not very good at it. I feel like I should snap the bat as well. Foul ball. Another system that really shines on here with the enhanced graphics turned on is PlayStation. So another system that I always get requested to showcase is Sega Saturn. Now, there's been so much optimization with this chipset that it's actually running quite well. So this is Sega Rally, which is quite a tough one to run. As I say, I will do a showcase, guys, of loads of Saturn games, so get your list in the comments. I'll do a long play. Although it may not be perfect, it's still definitely playable, guys. Not that I can play very well. Another system that I always get requested to test is N64. So let's check out some GoldenEye. Again, I'll do a showcase video, guys. Perfect, but definitely playable, as you'll see. So another system that people think that you can't play on here with PSP, but you can. Yes, you can do some tweaks to get the majority of the games working perfectly, but there's so many games that you can play, which, yeah, is really, really good. Let's use one as an example. Let's go with Ridge Racer. So with the 16:9 aspect ratio, it really doesn't look that great. It looks really, really small. So again, pretty much like what you do with the other systems is that you just stretch it a little bit. Not too much to deter the graphics, but enough to make sure that it is definitely a lot better than the 16:9 aspect ratio. So let me show you how you can do that. You click the left analog stick in, but if you come down to settings, display layout and effects. So if we go in here, guys, if we go along, you'll see that we have aspect ratio. So here we can change it. We can stick it with the 16:9, which, as you can see, it's a letterbox and it looks awful. So I put it on to 7. Which doesn't look too bad at all. So yes, you're going to lose some graphical effects, but you're going to have the game running at 60 frames. So you can have it at 30. 3, 2, 1, go! which still looks pretty decent. But obviously you want it to run at 60. You can still have the car out. As I say, you lose some graphical effects. But even at 30, it still plays really, really smooth. No stuttering, unless you play really bad like me. So again, if we go to settings, we take frame skip off. Let's put the car back on, and as you'll see, it will be a constant 60. And in my opinion, the little bit of graphical effects loss for 60 FPS is definitely a win in my opinion, because this game is phenomenal. And it still looks great. So okay guys, I'm going to leave it there for my unboxing first impressions. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I really have non-stop enjoyed this. Like, as I say, I did want to get a video out the moment it come, but as soon as I started playing, it was just absolutely phenomenal. A couple of things that I will point out. The triggers are very rattly. I suppose like a little bit of duct tape inside can stop and prevent that, which is easy. The D-pad itself, yes, it works perfectly fine, but it just doesn't seem to be the best. It's not like a Anbernic one. The shoulder buttons themselves are, yeah, mine were damaged on the top, but that's just it just happens sometimes with retro handhelds. I had to go in and sort it out myself, but as you can see, it's still got the matchstick. Sorry, it's still got the matchbox effect sound, so I will try and improve that. I did use a 400 gig SD card to put all my games on. If you are wondering if it can support a 400 gig SD, yes it can for all the games, and I haven't seen any slowdown or stuttering, so that's positive as well. The screen is absolutely unbelievable, one of the best screens that I've seen, and I think for the price, I got this for £66, guys. This is by far the best handheld that you can get for under £80. I can't stress enough that you need to get this in your life. It is fantastic. I do hope that other companies do make handhelds with the 1:1 aspect ratio screen, because it makes a massive difference, and it just makes your experience on it. It's just so immersive. It really is when you're playing the games. Love to know your thoughts on this, guys. I absolutely love it. I don't really recommend handhelds too much unless I really thoroughly enjoy it, and this is without a doubt the best handheld that Powkiddy have made to date. And with that, I just say go and buy one. You will not be disappointed. And as always, guys, take care.